What's going on, boys, and welcome back to another Minecraft video where I'm just talking about the mob vote stuff. On my last video, actually, people have some comments about the crab winning. Well, we've done it, boys. The Armadillo has officially won the mob vote, at least for now. Some people are saying it was botted and whatnot, which is possible. So, anyway. The Armadillo has won the mob vote, and I guess the crab came in second. The penguin wasn't even close. Had something like 10 or 20% or something like that. Meanwhile, the crab and the armadillo had 30-40% plus. So, and with that comes wolf armor, which is well needed, as I discussed in my last video. I think it's been needed for a long time because, I mean, when was the last time? When wolves were added years and years ago, when was the last time they actually got an update, right, to anything decent? I know their collars were able to be dyed, which was an update. As well as we're also getting a new another mob not tied to the mob vote called the Breeze, which basically acts as it's like a version of a blaze, but instead of shooting fire projectiles, it's air. And essentially, it will do AoE towards the player and emit a redstone signal, as shown in the Minecraft Live section, which I will have that video linked down in the description. So if you guys do want to go watch the Minecraft Live, if you haven't already, that'll be down there below. As well as some other stuff that I want to talk about that they added, or they're going to add, is a new underground structure. I've completely blanked on what it's called, but it's another underground structure where there's going to be certain like mob spawners where instead of just continuously spawning, it will spawn in a proximity. So when like one player goes near, it'll spawn like 4 or 5 of a certain mob, and you can usually tell by the indicators of the blocks. So for, I think the example they used was ice to signify strays, and I think it will scale up to the amount of players. So it's like one player is like 4 or 5, and then 2 is going to be like 8 to 10 or something like that, I would imagine. As well as they're adding in the auto crafting, which I think is going to be insane for those of you who do a lot of redstone projects, or just any redstone build in general, or for your farms, for like your mob farms, for like creepers or whatever, and you want to automatically craft TNT. Then as long as you've got ample of sand, which, let's be honest, you get efficiency 4 or 5 on a shovel, you can just clean house on a desert, you know. So plenty of potential with the auto crafting. As well as some other stuff I'd like to note was, I'm pretty sure it was more on the stage side of things, but the village looked like it was more more detailed, which I think might have just been a set like built for the video. But it showed off a lot of new copper blocks we're getting, which I've discussed in a lot of my videos, like my vanilla streams and my all the mods series when I'm talking about copper, because at the recording of this video, probably by the time you guys are watching it, we can make stuff like the spyglass, copper blocks, stairs, slabs, stuff like that, which, don't get me wrong, it's cool to see those in like cool decorations or huge builds and stuff like that, or pixel art. I know some people were doing stuff like that, which actually some of them looked pretty cool, not gonna lie. But to be able to have like copper doors, grates, and new kinds of blocks, and they also showcased a like a bulb block or something, where based on how eroded the copper is, it'll emit a certain light level, so you can kind of control. What in the hell? Oh, oh, goodbye. Enderman was not too happy. Anyway, with the additions of like new copper new uses for copper. I think that'll be pretty good, especially when it comes to map making and just stuff in general for decorating your base or servers or whatever, right? I think that'll be pretty useful, especially with the new additions of like the clay pots and stuff being generated in these structures would give them like a cool use, as well as some other stuff they've implemented going in is the ability to actually break pots with arrows and actually store a stack of items, meaning if as long as they're stackable, right? So if I put in a sword into a pot, it can only stack one sword because I can only stack one sword in my inventory, or 16 ender pearls, or 64 gunpowder, right? So on and so forth. You get the idea. Stuff like that, which I think will be pretty interesting, and I'm actually interested to see what the community does as far as new redstone stuff because with the clay pots, because you can easily you can put stuff in and take it out with a hopper as well. It works just like a chest, but instead of having a UI or user interface, you can't really tell. So if if you're not sure how much diamonds you have in the clay pot, well then you just put some in there, and if you can't put any more in there, then it's full at 64, right? Or however, whatever the stack limit is, right? So I think that'll be interesting, especially for how making is. I think that'll actually work out pretty well. Again, this is just going to be a short video. I just kind of wanted to get on and talk about the mob vote stuff. I do think it is pretty interesting. As far as the botting goes, I feel like I don't know enough to really say that happened or didn't happen, but I'll leave it at this, is that if it did happen and the crab really did win, then so be it, right? Then the crab should be in the game. And if not, then it is what it, then the armadillo won, right? It is what it is. But I will just leave it with that. Let me know what you guys think about the potential botting issue with the votes and stuff. I know a lot of people weren't happy in general, not at that particular issue, but like, let's be honest, all the mobs should be in the game, should just get added into the game, because like stuff like the Stony Shores biome does not have a lot going for it. So having the penguins there would have helped, having the crabs, maybe not in the mangrove swamps, just because we do have the frogs in there, right? So maybe having crabs and like maybe more than just the mangrove swamp would have helped as well, bring more life to the game in a different sense, I suppose. But do let me know what you guys' thoughts are on like the mob vote. Should Mojang just add all the mobs, or should we just continue doing this mob vote thing every year? And let me know what you guys think about the new copper blocks being added, copper doors and all that stuff, as well as the new dungeon-like structure we're getting, almost out of like the mod, what is it, roguelike dungeons is what it seems. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about that. So let me know down in the comments, and then I will catch you guys in another video.